I was to the hospital today um, of to the doctor want to see in my eyes. That's what they start with about what's, what damage I have in the brain. So the first thing the doctor said that he wanted to see that my eyes is okay, and then they can go to next step um, and question about the brain. And this is, I think it's the 19th June 2023, and I live in Sweden. That's my English is not my first language. I was to the eye doctor at the hospital, and I didn't know what they should do, because last time, for about 1 month ago or more, uh, they did this basic test on the eyes, and my eyes was okay. It was they were good. I didn't need to have eyeglasses, they say, but I say that I think I look nice in eyeglasses, so I have them. And today I didn't know, but I took 2 hours to be in the hospital. It's hard to know what time I am going home. I need to tell the taxi when they should come and pick me up. So I took 2 hours because I knew I should go to two doctors, eye doctors. And I was to a woman, and she did some test about how wide I can see with my eyes, up and down and on the sides, to measure it. And the doctor should look at it. And then I come to this doctor. He had passed by where I was sitting and waiting in the waiting room. He passed by there, and he looked at me. Every time he looked very much where I sit, and I didn't know why he did that, and of course not. No one have told me. So he maybe passed the waiting room 5 times and look at me, and then I come to this man that have walking like that, and he say that he should do the surgery on my eyes with laser. So I was into a room with him, and he took this laser machine. I have done a cataract surgery for 4 or 5 years ago, and he said that I had a blur in my eyes, on both eyes, that I have done surgery in. So they clean it up with a laser. So I got medicine in my eyes to not feel anything, and it was kind of fun with the machine that click into my skull when he did the surgery in my eyes. And he was sitting, and then the doctor say that I had beautiful eyes. He said that. He didn't say talking about the surgery or nothing. And then suddenly he took his hand and hold on the side of my head in my hair and felt the hair. And it was like he was flirting with me. And I don't know what it is with this flirting, because those men I have had in my life, they have not told me that how beautiful I am, or how nice my eyes are, like that. They had never say like that, so I was confused about it, and I maybe did the best I could do. It was to be neutral. I didn't say anything, and I couldn't say anything because I hold my head in this grip the machine had, so you can't talk and not look around outside the machine like that. And he did that to me, and he said I had beautiful eyes, and it was like, now when he was doing these things, I have thinking about that it can happen that he checked out me, because I know it was something going on first time I was to the eye doctor, and then now he was so much into me, and maybe have check out my podcast, and now he hear that I talking about him. If he have check out and listen at my podcast, and I am thinking like that, if it should be a man coming into my life, it must be in some miracle way he should come in, because I don't look so nice anymore. I am not this young woman, and my body is not slim. So it can, if it's something happen, it happened with this podcast, that he recognized my name, and then he wanted to listen at my podcast and find out what I'm talking about, the afterlife, and what I hear from them, and hear from God, and these things. So it took a time, because he did my 2 eyes surgery, laser surgery on them. So the taxi driver came in that time he did the surgery. So I couldn't answer the telephone, and I couldn't talk to the doctor about it, that it was my taxi driver, because no one else is calling me. So I knew it was the taxi driver. But he could do the surgery till the end of it, because the taxi driver knew that I was in a surgery, and he had to wait till the surgery was done. And then we drive home, and this man is always, almost always Muslims, and he was from Iraq, and he didn't speak so good Swedish. He explained it that he was 42 years old and have only been in Sweden in 1.5 years, and he talking about it's hard to could learn a new language when it started already when you're 25 to could learn a new language. And I said to him that I knew that because I'm interested of the brain. And then we come and talk about the wedding. And he was telling me how it's going in Iraq, that his parents decide who he should marry, and his wife's parents also have to decide who is going to marry their daughter. And then he say about $18,000 to give to the parents to could marry. And then he talking about the big weddings they had in Iraq. And then I come home, and I lay me down, and I was sleeping 3 hours after the surgery. And I dreamed about the man, and maybe it had the effect that we were talking about driving home about wedding. But it was very, very strange because it was not really the same thing that we were talking about. But it was, I come into an office, if it could be the doctor's office, maybe. And it was not the doctor sitting there, but it was an old man, but not so old as I am. He maybe was 45, like that. And I heard that he was from Israel. He was from Israel. And he sit in the office. And he wanted to marry me, he say to me. So I will see if it was something true, something, a vision that is true. I hope so. He was not so very nice looking, but I was thinking that if he want to marry me, I want to marry him because I need someone in my life. And I can learn to love him. He was not really ugly, but he was not looking young. And so I start to wondering what's going on here. Because, when I was in with the nuns, I had a vision of a bride clothes, white bride clothes, coming down from heaven. And then the Archangel Michael was one on the side of that wedding dress, but it was like under the wedding dress, like the wedding dress covering the Archangel Michael. And on the other side of that wedding dress, there was this cherub, those small baby angels, many of them was there. And maybe this started to be something here. And it has something with the doctor to do, the eye doctor, that he treated me like he was in love with me. And it's kind of laughing about it, because it have this with the age to do that doesn't fit, because he is about 35 years old. He's young man, and I could be his grandmother, but if it's a miracle going to happen here, then it doesn't matter what his age, only that he need to be old enough to marry like that. And I don't know what, but the eye doctor today, he looked like he is like Muslim, but he can be Swedish. I didn't check his name, and he speak perfect Swedish, so he can be a Swedish man, or else he grew up here. And so something maybe is going on here, and that if he have heard this about when I was to the nuns, and I got the vision of this wedding dress coming down from heaven, that he understood and look at me today, that I look like some message for him. It must be, if it's coming a man in my life in this situation I am in, being light disabled and old woman, and it must be a miracle coming. And miracles have been in my life many times, so that is not stupid to think like that for me. It is like I have told you, that time will show what is going on. And going back to him in some weeks, he say, to check out this surgery, if it's working as it should. So I'm going back to him. It's amazing. It's amazing if something happen here. He's not crazy. This man I met in Jerusalem. That man in Jerusalem, he was going to kill me, but I got the warning from heaven to act in a different way than what I should do if I have not heard. I hearing from heaven, from afterlife, and I obey it now today. So I did that in Jerusalem or else I have not been sitting here. He should have killed me, especially when this man in Jerusalem said that I should go follow him to this car repair, and it was much money to pay for that car, and I got warning about it to not go with him because they're gonna in some way get money from me. Either that they want me to write under something so they can get money, or else they have kidnapped me and think that I have people that should pay money for them to let me go. Something was going on, but heaven told me that I should not sit in his car anymore, and I had to stay in the hospital for 2 days because I couldn't be outside the hotel because he could come with a car and take me into the car and do bad things to me. So I obey what they told me to not do. So I sit here because of that. And but it must be a miracle now. They know on the other side, in the dark side, they know that I obey the voices I hear from afterlife and God, not from them, on the dark side. That was many years since I listened at them. I did some mistake in Jerusalem because I listened to this crazy man's what he was telling me, and I wanted so much to live in Jerusalem and marry him before I knew he was out to kill me. So, but now they know it. Heaven should tell me that something is wrong with this doctor if he was. So they can't do that on me anymore. It's ended in Jerusalem. This could trick me. That was the last trick they did with this man in his taxi car. So this what I was telling you about. We will see in some weeks now after the summer, and I'm going to be to the same doctor again that caress me in my hair and say I have beautiful eyes, and see what will happen or not happen. But I have a hope that one day it's coming, a miracle going on, that someone understand who I am under God and who is my friends, those in afterlife, that they do something with me. I've done many things in my life, and they were those that told me that I should start a podcast so you could hear me. And much have happened since I started a podcast. I never thought I should come to Israel for a 4th time. Like that, it was very strange for me that I could get money could travel to Jerusalem. So I will see what's going on with those men this taxi driver that drove me home, he's married. It's not he that is about. It's about the doctor, and that's the man I saw in when I was sleeping after the surgery, and it was very clear, this man. I know how he looked like, and he say that I was in Israel. So we will see if it's true, this. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.